Hey everybody, give everybody a minute to jump on. Make this really quick, not hold y'all up on a Friday night. Don't forget to like and follow and share it with your friends. Alright, let me see if the comments are up, so what you're saying I'll be able to see. Yeah, okay. Alright, am I dark or is it too light? I think I have it too light. Hold on for just a second. Let me make me a little bit brighter. Okay, just want to show you real quick. Last night, this really wasn't dry yet in order for us to see. And the white dried, and all I did was take some brown paint and outline it and put the little pod covers on it. Hey Angie, hey Miss Carol. Alright, so I'm gonna throw it on the tree real quick and we're all done with our tree. Unless I come across some really cute ornaments, which I probably will. And if we do other stuff we're doing, I'll pop over here and tell you if I found something really cute, what it was and how easy it was to make it. But we'll put our little cotton right there in front. I think that's really cute. Okay, only thing we're gonna make left that we have is our tree topper. And what I decided to do was the Scarecrow head that I put on my wreath. I look really dark. Do I look really dark, y'all? I'm scared you can't see me. Hold on, let me. For some reason, I feel like I look really dark. Do I look okay? Okay. I can't tell, and I don't want to do it too bright. Okay, hopefully it's not too dull and you're able to see it. Okay, all right, so what I did was I held a poster board up. I mean, you can get them from anywhere, but you know, if you go to the Dollar Tree, it's that poster board that's pretty hard. But you could cut up a box. Like if you get a lot of Amazon stuff like I do. Hey Jackson Strickland, hey Jennifer. Just cut up some box. But I kind of held my board up to see how tall I wanted the Scarecrow hat to be on top of the tree. And I came up with about this tall. Normally the one I made for my wreath is probably about a quarter of this. But I wanted you to be able to see it, and if it gets to be too big and, you know, turning the seam inside outwards, I'm probably going to lose about that much of it. So I really liked this size. And what you do is you just take your felt, I'll tell you, a paper sack, like a big, like old-timey paper sack that you get from the grocery store is really good to use for this too. Any kind of material, anything that matches your tree, you can use. I have 2 tones of brown on there, and I had this from my last Scarecrow, and so I had some extra pieces, so I thought I would do maybe two tones since he has 2 rims of his hat and a front and a back, and that way I could probably change it if I wanted to. So I took this, placed it on top of my felt of any size. You just trace it out. Remember, it doesn't matter about your lines because you can just use flip it over and use the other side. You don't have to worry about your lines. So Jennifer and Jamie here from Hilton Head. Okay, awesome. So I'll be real quick so y'all can get back to having fun. Okay, so I took this and I traced out 2 separate colors because I wanted it to be two-tone. This is the color I really like on the front, but I'm going to change it. Like sometimes if I want, you know, the lighter color, I'll flip it around. Can y'all see me? Is my color okay? It just seems for some reason real dark. I hope I didn't hit anything on my phone that changes it. Okay, so I traced that out. And what I went ahead and did before we got on here is put your right sides together like you're sewing it. Sewing it probably would be better, but I'm not going to take out my sewing machine just to make one loop because everything else requires hot glue. So, took my new little quarter screw gun, put it all the way around the side, put the right sides together, and just like a pillow, and since I hot glued it, I'm going to carefully turn it right side outwards. I think the last time I did my other little Scarecrow head for this wreath, it came loose a little bit, like in one corner, like maybe the hot glue didn't either stick really good, or I just didn't put a good little bit right there. And what I did was, you know, you can just pinch it together and put it there. It's not the end of the world. Now, so this is what you're left with. Just like in sewing, if you roll your little ends out, it brings it all the way to the front. Just kind of be gentle with it. The corners, you can take something and gently push those out so it gives you that good corner, just like with a pillow. And roll your side seams out. Let's see. So to make it as big, and like I said, remember you're going to lose about a 1/2 inch all the way around, I would say, guesstimating. And if you sew it and you do a, you know, 1 inch seam, you're going to lose 1 inch all the way around it. So see, not quite as big as it would be. It's a little bit, I liked it taller, skinnier towards the brim of the hat. You could do straight up and down. You can also get like a coffee can, paint can, anything that'll give you something round, and just hot glue your felt or whatever material you're using to that. Hey Peggy. All right, so we're gonna put that to the side, because now what you have to do is think about the brim of your hat. Normally you can do something small like a plate size, a charger plate size, but since I wanted it to go around my wreath, I looked around for a bigger circle, and what I found was this just wire wreath I had. You know, I would say it's about, looks like 16 inches wide. And since I did his brim 2 different colors, I had to decide on which one that, you know, I wanted to go on the top, because the one on the top is actually a little bit smaller, and there's no set smaller. You can do it 2 inches. I did it probably about close to 1 inch smaller. But I laid my material out, and I'll tell you, I think what I did was I took what I decided to go on the top, this material, and did it this shape, traced it out. Doesn't matter if you see your Sharpie marker, you can either cut that off, or the thing about doing a scarecrow is, see, I have like a little cut line there. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's a scarecrow. But you know, it just gives you a general shape. And then all I did was set this circle before I cut the hole. It was just a complete circle on my contrasting fabric. And since felt sticks together so well, I just went around with my scissors and cut about 1 inch bigger around. Now this is the step that you don't have to do. I kind of want to stabilize it in my tree, so I wanted to cut a hole in it so I could just set it up there. I didn't have to wire it in, pinch it, you know, pipe cleaner it in. It would be pretty stable. I'm hoping once I get it up there it's not too big. So the original circle that I have on the inside, you don't have to do it for a wreath size, but since this is so big, it's going to be kind of flimsy, especially if you use like an old t-shirt at your house, old pair of jeans to do this, because it's a scarecrow. So I had the other half of that post board left, and so I just cut a circle, and I set it on here, and I did not, you see, I did not cut a perfect circle. It's not even close. You just want it to hide behind your top layer. So I just set it on there, drew a circle on the and cut in between it. All right, so when I had my circle here, I folded it in half and then folded it in half again, and I'll show you to cut a somewhat pretty, not perfect circle, but then you don't have to eyeball it. When it was on all together, and I just cut probably about 3 inches, and I just cut it with my scissors. So the second circle that's bigger, folded it once, then folded it again, took this circle, and when this was still connected to it, like so, I just held my first one that I cut up to it, so it would be the same size hole, and cut it. So even though they may not be precise when I put them together, they are close enough. So I pretty much have the same. You see they're not perfect, but they're close enough on the circle. So I had to cut out a circle in the center of this so it will go down, because this is just my stabilizer. So this is my top. I'm going to set it to the side, and I need to sandwich this in between it. I really don't want to have to put the glue on my felt, so what I think I'm going to do, and on the bottom one, you really need it to go all the way out to the edge. So on the bottom side of it, when I put my glue, I'm going to have to put it all the way around the edge and all the way around the second edge. You may have to go back and touch it up, but hopefully I won't have to do that, but I've had to before. All right, let's see. We'll set it just about perfect on there. Close as I can get, because when I hold it up, I don't want it to come apart on the edge. And so it's pretty stuck. Now this one is a different story. When you put the top one on there, I want the sides to gather a little bit so it looks like it's a ripple in his hat. Hopefully we won't see that too much. If it is, I may have to paint it or put, you know, a little something on it. But I really like the fact that the very first time I pinched it together. And let's see if I need to do just a couple of little cuts in it so I can do that ripple. And you don't have to do that. I mean, you could just maybe do one in the very front or one on the side. So when you're looking at from the front, you can tell that the hat, the brim of it is, because, you know, this part droops down. So maybe you don't have to do it. Maybe I'll just do a couple of pinches on each side, because I really don't want you to see that white. But I want you to be able to see that his hat is like 2 layers, the brim of it. All right, so I'm going to do half first. Half of the brim over here. And I'm going to put the back down flat, because I'm not worried about the back, but I'm going to pinch a little place up here on front. Like pinch a little bit back there. So see, it has that little ripple effect. And hopefully, yeah, you can see the white a little bit. So maybe right in the front where the beginning of my tree is, and I may have to go back in there and cut that out. When I made the little one for my wreath, I didn't have to make it this big, so the felt was pretty sturdy, and so I didn't have to put this in between. But looks like that maybe I have to go back and either color that with paint or maybe take a brown Sharpie or something. All right, so let me just glue the other half down. Oops, I'm about to run out of glue in my little trusty glue gun. All right. Okay, set the back down, and I'm going to pinch, 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 pinch. I'm just going to make a little pinch up front, so maybe if I have to work it out. Hey, Miss Jane. Hey, JC, what are you doing? All right, so here is our brim. You may can see that a little bit right there, so, but maybe when I get it up there, I just hold it down. But I love the ruffle. I hate that you can see the white, but like I said, all it is a matter of just flipping it up, and I can throw some paint on there right there. Just anything, because it's so stark white. Or when you go in the store, do they have brown? Maybe if it was, I don't know if they have a brown. I think when you go in the Dollar Store, it's just white or black. Maybe black wouldn't be as noticeable. But, so that is the brim of our hat. Super easy. And we have the top. Now normally we would just take this around the opening and glue it down, and you really don't have to worry about the glue marks, because around the brim of his hat right here, we're going to put some ribbon and some raffia, so I'm not going to really worry so much how I get it down. But to make it stand up and over time that it doesn't sag, I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing in it. Hopefully I don't have to glue the stuffing in. Put a little dab of glue at the top, because I really don't want to stuff it completely full, because remember, I want the top of the tree. I want it to sit a little bit on the tree, so the very bottom, at least that much, I'm not wanting stuffing. So I'm going to stick this in the side, and remember to kind of if you want it like mine, bigger at the top, wider at the top than around his brim. Remember, that's the first place you're going to need to put your stuffing, is like in those little corners. So you know, it'll really show that shape that you want. And you're not gonna need very much. And I'll show you a little trick that I did on this other one to hold your stuffing in there, but it is not necessary, because even if this stuffing were to try to come out a little bit, once I put it on the tree is gonna keep it up in there. But in case I wanted to set it out, because this would make a really cute centerpiece on a table, coffee table, middle of your dining table, a corner little table, it would be really cute. So if you're gonna do that, then you need to find a way to hold this in here. And like I said, in a minute I'm going to show you how I did it, because on my wreath Scarecrow I didn't want the stuffing to like come out, or I was worried about it coming out. I don't think it would, but okay, that seems like enough. What you can do, and you're going to have a lot of scrap left over from this, you can take one of these centers that we cut out, anything, even if it's a scrap little piece that's like this, and you're not going to use it again, because all you really want to do is, if you're looking on the inside, you're going to glue a piece from here to the back, and that way it stops. You know, kind of like if you just shoved a stick in there that way, it would do the same thing. Anything you can put in there and glue to one side or the other, and it'll keep whatever stuffing, because you don't have to put stuffing in here. You can take scrap paper, if you work in an office, and ball it up and put it in here. Like I said, you know, it's not a pillow, so you don't have to worry about it. Nobody, you know, it's gonna scrunch or make noise. So anything you want in here. So I'm gonna take this, since it's already in a circle, and put it down in here flat, and that actually probably works the best. See, I just put this in here, and I'm gonna put a little dab of glue right here, and a little dab of glue, and then it's not gonna go anywhere. So, and then put it on the other side. I hate it that my mantelpiece is fixing to be done and all this is done. Hey Patty, I'll have to find somewhere else. I know there's these little stacked pumpkins that I want to do, so there'll be some more crafts for fall that I want to do, but I'll have to find places to put them. Alright, so put this in here, and now, even if I wanted it to, well, I say that, and so once oh, that's because the glue wasn't stuck. Hold on, let me press that together really good. Okay, because this side is on here really well. Alright, so now, can I say that? It's not going to come out. It's not going to come out. Okay. Alright, now here is the most time-consuming part, but still, you do not have to be perfect. This is going to be the front facing you. Because, you know, around the edges here, no matter how we have to glue it, you're going to put a ribbon, you can put raffia, you can put a scarf, like anything you want right there is going to hide the edges. You could always try to be as neat as you can about it if you didn't want to put that on it, like fold it down and we can glue it all the way around. But I'm going to put it on here the sturdiest way, and but I'm not going to really worry about what it looks like. I think maybe if I cut these little maybe 1/2 inch marks, it's going to help me lay it down. Hopefully you won't see that. Alright, I'm going to put the back to you, but once I get a couple of pieces glued, I'll show you what I'm doing. And I may have to put some more stuffing in it. We'll just have to see. Alright, I'm going to take this first little flap right here, and I'm going to do it facing me, and then I'll circle it around and show you. And on the bottom, on the inside of the hat, put a little bit of glue on that first flap, and I'm going to put it, glue it down. Hold on for just a second. Let me make sure this glue gun, even though I love it and it's cordless, it gets really hot. It's not like kind of the ones you buy in the store that you just, ooh, ooh, I mean, it will really burn you. But I love it because it's cordless. Alright, maybe I'll stabilize the back. So I'm going to take one of these cut pieces on the back, the little cut rivets that we make, and put a little glue on it. And see, and already it's standing up, but I may need to put some more stuffing in it. Maybe I didn't do it low enough, but maybe having a little wrinkle right there in the bottom will make it look realistic. All right, I'm gonna try to do maybe the front, back, and each side to kind of stabilize it, and then go back around and do different little pieces on it. Okay, that's one side, and then we'll do the other. What are y'all all doing tonight on the Friday night? I didn't think anybody'd watch it live. I figured everybody goes out. Chris and I are rather boring. We don't go anywhere. After you work all week or doing crafts every night, I'm on the weekend. It's like my time to relax. Ow. All right. Almost done, and I think I'm going to put some more stuff. And I know I have that piece in it holding my stuffing on, but it doesn't matter. Remember, I just put 2 little tiny dabs, so I can just pull one loose, put some more stuffing in it, and just have to dab that one side. I'll burn my fingers off first. That's the thing about when you glue fabric. You think you have to hurry with hot glue with anything you do before it dries really quick. But when it comes to fabric, it does not dry. I mean, it still dries fast enough for you to work with it, but not as fast as it does on other things. So sometimes I glue something and I hurry on and forget that you've got to let it hold just a little bit longer. Any little excess I have, I'm just gonna trim off. All right, I did not glue that part yet. See, boy, it's not play. I think it really did burn my finger. Watching you too much, virus out there to go anywhere. I don't usually worry about that. We'll go anywhere. I'm just too lazy to go anywhere. I mean, it's you have to like get all dressed up, put makeup on, and if anybody knows me, I hate putting makeup on. Oh my gosh, that's the best thing about getting old. You just don't care anymore. And my husband surely doesn't care. He's under the delusion that I don't need makeup, which I'm gonna let him keep thinking that because I hate wearing it. All right. Okay, put some more stuffing in here while that dries so I don't completely take all the skin off my hands. I have those there's these little rubber finger guards you can put on and sticks that you can use. And I have them somewhere and I was like, well, these really were kind of more aggravating to use, but now I see why some people need to use them because they have this really hot glue gun. It's hot. Okay. Alrighty, so I can't really see it because the words are in a wreck. I said, there we are right here. And I know you can see that white a little bit, but I can fix that. Maybe when I get it up on the tree, I can just do it. I don't have to worry about painting it. Okay. All right, there we go. Because I want it to kind of scrunch down a little bit. And I have this side, or I have this side if I decide to do something with it. Let me pull down that one more piece. I think I pulled it loose when I was putting more stuffing in it. Alrighty. Now to the fun part. It's like the fun part when you get to decorate it. Alright. Okay. Now, before we get to the brim, up here, on my original little Scarecrow, I took like, if he has a patch, and this is kind of how you can incorporate the colors of the ribbons you're using on a wreath or on a little tree. I got some fabric out from the one pumpkin I made that has like a little bit of this green teal color on it. And I can't even cut like a perfect square, y'all. So I have to like fold it like the circle and then cut a square. If you could cut a perfect square, bless you, because I can't. Okay. So now, I have this little square, and on his hat, I'm going to put 3 different materials to incorporate some color in it. And it's sticking because it's the felt, but I'll have to permanently put it. And you can do them all the same size. This is somewhere like you can take an old flannel shirt that you don't wear anymore, if you have stains on it, cut like, you know, the pocket off of it or something and put on it. This is where it's up to you what you want to put on it. So I'll put, a little torn part. All right, and here's another color. And the last color, I was going to use this contrast and felt, and I'll probably put that in the back since there's nothing real special about it. Okay. All right, so really quick, we'll take these down, stick a little hot glue on this, and you can just put them in the 4 corners, or you can go all the way around the edge. Doesn't matter. And just throw it on there. And there is no right or wrong way to do this part. I mean, you could only do one if you wanted to. You can actually take a little bit of your paint. Just like burlap, you can paint felt and paint you a little patch on here. Okay. Here is this color. Yeah, and that turned out really cute. All right, so we put little patches on up in the corner. So now it's just a matter of putting your burlap and your, your ribbon and your raffia around it. I just chose a plain burlap. On the last one, I put a jean color ribbon on it because I had the jeans of the Scarecrow, but I really didn't have any jean color on my tree. So let me close that. Hey Rian, so I decided just to do like a little plain contrasting fabric on it. So I'm gonna take this ribbon and see how much I need, how big it needs to be. Not very big. And this is wire, but considering that you don't have to worry about holding a bow, let me put this on the back. Then it doesn't have to be wire. And it could be really, this is where you could put like a flannel colored ribbon. You know, ribbon you could buy just about any color. The last time I had a ribbon, I thought it was too wide. So what I did was you can fold it in half. But because this is a lot taller and it's the tree topper, I'm gonna leave the ribbon whole like this. I mean, or you know, just the size it is. And I think it's only about a 1.5 inch ribbon. But, you know, even 2 inch would be okay right here because this is just so tall. All right, so I really don't even think, well, I'm gonna put a little dab of glue on the front of it just to hold it in place, but I really don't think it needs it. And in the back, I'll just cross over. Now, if this is a Scarecrow that maybe you wanted to use as a centerpiece, and you were going to put like a little sunflower here or something, don't put your connecting ribbon in the back. You know, put your ribbon wherever you're going to cover it up right there. But nobody's really going to see my back. And if I decide to turn it around and use the other lighter side, then I'll just put a little flower right here to cover it up. But I'm one of those people, I don't worry about what the backs of my trees look like. I mean, like I said, when we were young, my daddy was like, you have to make the back that's facing the wall just as pretty as you make any other part of the tree. And I'm like, why? I'm not going to put my best and pretty ornaments on the wall where you don't see it. And I don't just do one side. I do as much as you can. But on the very back, if it's facing a wall or corner, no. I might put the ornaments that I feel like I have to put on my tree, because they're sentimental, but maybe I don't want to look at them because they're getting really old. Something like that. Okay, so far we've gotten this. And what I'm going to do is just put some raffia in it. I thought about just sticking pieces of raffia in my tree, but I didn't want it to start looking messy because it's really skinny. So I'm just gonna put this on his hat. And like ribbon, I may let it fall down. You just have to play around with what you like. And you don't even have to put Raffy on it. If you'd rather, you know, put like different kind of little florals on the side. All right, so I'm gonna make a knot. And let's see, maybe put it on this side, because when you walk in the room away from the mantle, I'll put it on this side. Okay. And I'm gonna let that hang down and just take some more of this and make my little bow part out of this. Because the more you try to tie it and all that on there, it's not gonna look right. So, take this part. Is it connected? No. That's the second time. I don't think anybody has ever called in the middle of one of my lives, and last night somebody did, and Neely just did. Hey, Stephanie. All right, so I'm just gonna make a knot in the center of this and pull it tight. Please tell me no, I didn't. Alrighty. Okay, now we got it. And just grab it. And it kind of makes like a little bow. And just like on our little ornament, you can cut it right here and just make it poke out bow, but I'm gonna leave it in this little bow shape. Let's see, make one more knot to kind of keep it sturdy. All right, here's this knot right here. Let me hold this down. Raffia is messy. Okay. And then here is our little bow. Just the excess. I'm going to take that down. Put some more glue on it. And hopefully this is all going to turn out really pretty and perfect, and I don't have to do any adjusting to it, and it'll sit up on top of my tree just like a little topper. So all right, so here we go. Got a little bow on the side of it, but like I said, that's just mine, the way I did it. You don't have to do the patches. You can change the ribbon. You can actually do a color. I just didn't know what other ribbon, you know, and I kind of wanted to make it plain. Like next year, what if I put other colors in my fall tree that I hope I'll do again next year? I maybe can just change the colors up here, and because this is really neutral. But I'm gonna move the around to face the tree. Hey, Melissa, and see how it goes. All right, let's see. I added all that stuff into it, y'all, and I didn't need it. All right, so. All righty. And you really can't see the white, so how do you think it turned out? Oh, I think it turned out so cute. I love it. All right, so get crafting, ladies, and get those trees out and do a fall tree. And I hope y'all have a really good weekend, and thanks for watching.